Good day, Northeastern Mindanao State University, especially to our professor, Dr. Marty Buchan. I am Melanie Arcong, your MILE student, and I'm here to present a research proposal entitled Using ClassCraft to Foster Students' Motivation in English. Now let's get started. The sector of education in the Philippines has an increasing concern about school failures and dropouts. According to BSA data, one of the most common reasons for failure and dropouts of students in this pandemic was the lack of personal interest. The overgrowing number of out-of-school youth due to COVID-19 pandemic led DepEd to immediately improve policies using lessons learned from months of blended and distance learning. Nowadays, new alternatives are proposed in order to motivate students during the teaching and learning process. During the last years, gamification has arisen as a great tool to cultivate students' motivation and, like this, favor learning. There are various approaches to presenting gamification and many resources and tools available for teachers to design and implement gamification proposals. Since interaction is absent in a virtual class, it is needed to quest for new and imaginative training assets and strategies to work with instructing and learning of ideas in English. And one of these tools is an online role-playing platform, ClassCraft, that lets the teachers turn the classroom into a real role-playing scenario. ClassCraft permits the teacher or the game master to have a global and individual vision of the game advancement. In this way, the teacher can view the particular progress of a given student, a specific team, or the whole classroom. In Floreta Herrera Irizarry National High School, English is one of the subjects that exhibits less learned competencies during pandemic, where online learning is a mode of delivery. With that, the researcher is inspired to study the results of conducting gamified activity in the form of ClassCraft on the students' motivation and performance. The significance of this study. The use of ClassCraft to foster motivation among students in a junior high school would be beneficial to the following: teachers, the students, the school, the community, and future researchers. For the teachers, they will be able to integrate ClassCraft as a new gamification strategy. They can also transform their classroom into an interesting digital form. For the students, they are also beneficiaries of the study because they can have fun while learning. They can keep track of their performance by how they act in the game, making the class technology-based and interactive. The school, they will also benefit from the study if students can foster better performance and develop cooperation and responsibility. Maybe then dropout rates will be decreased. And for the community will benefit the study if the youth becomes responsible and sensible. They can contribute a lot to the development of the community. For the future researchers, the study will also benefit some future researchers planning to conduct similar studies on gamification and to be able to compare the results. The conceptual framework of the study. Now, the figure shows the different activities conducted throughout the duration of the study. Now, the study claims that the use of ClassCraft as a gamification strategy in blended learning will foster motivation and performance. ClassCraft, an online learning platform, was used to create gaming scenario in the classroom. A gamification proposal was implemented using ClassCraft. Teachers and students can access this online platform from any device that has internet access via web or app version. This research was conducted using the free ClassCraft basic option, but there is a $120 premium option which is more advanced. Now, ClassCraft's aim is to transform the classroom into a role-playing environment. Hence, teachers are able to cultivate desired classroom management behaviors. Each student plays in a team. So solidarity and cooperation are fostered as they have specific roles and responsibility within the team. With ClassCraft, teachers can manage students' behavior and performance using a reward or penalty system. The game allows students to level up, acquire powers, and progress by gaining points. Now, teachers set the game duration and features, and students have their own accounts to manage their characters and powers. Sanchez et al. 2017. Let's proceed to the objectives of the study. The general objective of the study is to design activities using ClassCraft and assess the students' performance and motivation. In grade 9, ST is students of Floreta Herrera Rizal National High School. So the following are the specific objectives. Number 1 is to create ClassCraft activities on the types of propaganda technique. Then the second, assess the students' performance in the types of propaganda techniques employing traditional instruction in the pretest. Then evaluate the students' performance upon using ClassCraft in 3 types of propaganda techniques in the post-test. And finally, to know the effectiveness of ClassCraft in fostering students' motivation in English class based on students' performance. Let us have the research methodology. The study's methods are described in this chapter. Additionally, the study subject, the instrument used, and the procedure for obtaining and analyzing data are described. For the research design, the design is quasi-experimental as there is no control group. Concerning the research methods, 2 surveys were used in order to assess motivation. One of them is the closed-ended question, which was answered by all of the participants, and the other one consisted of an open-ended question, which was also answered by the participants. The closed-ended survey was used before pre-test and after post-test the intervention. The survey used was adopted from the work developed by Barrera Queva, Colasma Ramos, and Gonzalez Ramos, 2014. The survey was used due to its adequacy concerning the research topic, as it assesses the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation regarding English learning. In addition, the survey was validated by experts and by the Cronbach-Alpha standard. The study examines 2 variables, motivation and learning, but the other variable was not examined due to the nature of the research. So the data obtained were analyzed using descriptive inferential statistics, identifying one independent variable, the grade obtained in the English subject by the students in the previous quarter 3. The open-ended survey was administered using Google Forms once the intervention had finished. The survey was included 2 open-ended questions. First, they were asked to describe their impressions and experiences regarding the intervention. As part of the second question, the students were asked of any comments they would like to make. The participants of this study are the STE grade 9 students of Loretta Herrera Arizari National High School, Lanuza, Surigao Sur, which was conducted during the 8th week of the second semester, the academic year 2021-2022. The study will be conducted in blended learning, the combination of face-to-face and distance learning activity. So the population or the participants were selected based on purposive sampling because it is based on the convenience of the researcher and the nature of the research. So the total population is 23 and the total sample is also 23. For data gathering procedure, descriptive statistics will be used to present the motivation levels and experiences of the students through collection of frequency, ranking, and percentage. The mean will be used to determine the most responses of the students in the different components pertaining to motivation. The researchers will also take into account the comments and suggestions of the students and then interpret its implication to motivation and learning experience. In terms of performance, the mean of the test scores during the pre-test and post-test will be computed, recorded, and compared. The data will be used to track the student's progress and conclude whether the competencies are attained through the use of Classcraft. And finally, the instruments. The data collection instruments are the pre-test, post-test, and survey questionnaires like the Likert scale open-ended questions. The questionnaires will be administered to determine the improvement in the student's performance and motivation. Now that is all for the proposal. But thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day ahead.